Hey, what's up, YouTubers and those who may be watching this on Facebook? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a video review. And for this review, we're going to be taking a look at Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for the Nintendo Switch, also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But for this review, we're going to be taking a look at the Nintendo Switch version. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage, I'll have a link in the description. This includes gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Liberation, though. Assassin's Creed 3 is kind of a mixed bag for some people. There are those who don't really like that game or don't really view that as their favorite entry. Some of it even points out how the game was like broken and all that stuff. For me, though, Assassin's Creed 3 was the game that's kind of introduced me to the Assassin's Creed series. It was the first Assassin's Creed game I ever played when it came out on the Wii U back in 2012 as one of the many launch titles for the Nintendo Wii U. And it was an interesting title when it came out, and it still is an interesting title today, even though it may not live up to the expectations as, say, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flags. Well, this year, Ubisoft decided to re-release the game as a remastered version for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. The Switch version came a little bit later. So, how does the Switch version hold up, though? We'll get right down to our pros and cons of this. And we'll start off first with the pro. And the first one has to do with the story. And I have to say, as far as the story goes, I like it, though. I like the idea of that you're exploring basically the colonial America during the American Revolution and so forth, to basically meeting the iconic founding fathers of America, whether it was Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Franklin, George Washington, to even other iconic figures like Paul Revere and so forth. So it's very interesting to see that, to certain events in American history, like the Boston Tea Party, although in a interesting way that they sort of portray it, though. So story-wise, it is very interesting, and I do enjoy Assassin's Creed 3 story. And even Liberation story is actually good as well, especially it takes place at a time when the French controlled New Orleans and Louisiana before the famous Lewis and Clark and Louisiana Purchase, to a time when slavery was still going on and so forth. So the story in Liberation is good, but between the two, I have to say I liked 3 the most, though. But either way, I enjoyed the story in both Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation. The next thing I do want to talk about is the DLCs, and one of the things, or the content in the game, and one of the things to point out is that all the DLCs are there. But as far as the Switch version goes, although all the DLCs are there, you will have to basically download them. Whether it's the Time with George Washington, to basically, I think, the one mission involving Benedict Arnold. So it is a little annoying you have to download the DLCs, but on the other hand, though, they were, when I downloaded them, especially when I picked up Assassin's Creed 3 for the Switch, though, they were free or anything like that. So basically, not a little disappointing, but not a huge loss in any way at all. Also, props to Ubisoft, however, is that both games are in one cartridge, though. So there's no, you get one game, one cartridge, and you get a download code, and you have to download the other one. They actually managed to put both games in one cartridge. So props to Ubisoft for pulling that, unlike some companies that somehow don't seem to do it that way. And all, hello Final Fantasy X and X2, the Western release, and hello Resident Evil Triple Pack, to be exact. So glad that Ubisoft did that. And last but not least is the gameplay. And the gameplay is still enjoyable in this game. Basically, it follows, it's kind of, while it's not as fast-paced as, say, like the Batman Arkham series, there are some similarities to it. You do have a counter and all that stuff, and an attack and so forth, but obviously the big selling point is the assassinations, and there are many ways you could take out your opponents, to even using different ways to take them out. You can also hunt in the game and so forth, and they added some new stuff in as well, such as the ability, I believe, to whistle someone over to take them out, to actually hiding in the bushes, to even the ship combat, which is still fun to this day though. So that's probably the highlight for me, the ship combat in Assassin's Creed 3. So gameplay wise, it's still enjoyable to this day. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2, which is the cons. So we'll take a little break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video review of Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. As I mentioned earlier, the game's also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So now that I gave you my pros on the game and what I liked, why don't I give you the cons and what I don't like. And we'll start off with the first one. Now, as I mentioned in the pros, though, I thought the gameplay was still enjoyable, it was still a fun game, and so forth, even after all these years. That said, although I do think the gameplay is enjoyable, I just don't think it's as good as, say, Origins and Odyssey. Origins and Odyssey, I feel, is like a step above, and when playing those games, it is kind of difficult to go back to the gameplay style that existed in past Assassin's Creed game. That doesn't mean the game is bad, or Assassin's Creed 3 is a bad game, or anything like that. It's just that the gameplay isn't as good as, say, Origins and Odyssey is, which is a little bit more fast-paced and has more of that RPG elements to it. Also, as much as the ship combat is enjoyable in Assassin's Creed 3, I still feel Black Flag's ship combat, Assassin's Creed 4's Black Flag's combat, is like way better than Assassin's Creed 3 though. 3 isn't bad, but the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag's combat is just miles ahead, just way better than 3 will ever will be. So again, the gameplay's still good, just not good as Origins and Odyssey was. And again, ship combat is enjoyable in Assassin's Creed 3, just not as good as Assassin's Creed 4's Black Flag. Next thing I want to talk about is the graphics. And the graphics, at least as far as the Switch version go, is kind of a hit and a miss. While I haven't ran into the kind of situation we saw with Assassin's Creed Unity, where like those faces were missing and all that stuff, there were times when the visuals aren't exactly look great or anything like that. Yes, it is believed to be that the Switch version does run at 1080p when docked, but some of the visuals are not exactly great, especially with the eyes, which are just, sometimes those eyes are just kind of creepy and all that stuff. And so forth. Just, the animation's just mixed. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes, well, not so much. And last but not least, and this is kind of the one that might turn some people off though, is that there are bugs and glitches here and there in the game. Now, I do want to say I haven't ran into a situation where the game kicked me out or if the game crashed or anything like that. And most of the bugs, and I haven't ran into anything where the bugs and glitches like completely ruin the game, but there are times when I had to like restart a mission where my character gets stuck somewhere. To one time in Liberation when I was in the bayou, the character would continue to swim even when on the ground, sometimes even floating in the air and so forth. So there were times when I had to restart a mission or reload a game and all that stuff, but it didn't happen constantly every single time. So I was still able to play and enjoy the game though. But it is unfortunate there are still some bugs and glitches that still need to be ironed out. Hopefully, maybe Ubisoft will release another patch to fix some of it though. But Yeah, unfortunately, there are some bugs and glitches here and there, as far as I'm aware of, in the Switch version of Assassin's Creed 3, or at least as far as based on my time with the game, though. Overall, I have to say that Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered is, well, it's good, but not 100% great, though. The story is still enjoyable in this game. Both Liberation and Assassin's Creed 3 is, though. It's great that they included all the DLCs, and like I said earlier, props to Ubisoft for putting both games in one cartridge. And the game is still enjoyable. The gameplay is still fun. The combat is fun, especially the ship battles, though. But while it is good and somewhat of an improvement over the PS3, 360, and the Wii U release, it's far from a perfect port, though. As much as I enjoy the gameplay, it's not nearly as good as Origins and Odyssey is. Same with the ship combat, which I feel Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag's ship combat is way better than Assassin's Creed 3's one, though. The visuals are kind of a hit and miss in some cases, and there are a few bugs and glitches here and there. I'm hoping they will iron out with like a future patch and all. Alright. Again, it didn't ruin the game, it didn't crash the game, and it wasn't anywhere near the level as what Unity was, but still it is a little annoying. So it's kind of a hit and miss on this one. I will say, is it an improvement over the PS3, 360, and the Wii U version? Yeah, they did some improvements here and there, but it's far from a perfect port or anything like that. But either way, I still enjoy the game. The story's still interesting and so forth. And I would love to see Ubisoft port over games like Assassin's Creed Rogue to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I would love to see those games come to the Nintendo Switch. And if this is possible, if they ever do this, though, it'd be nice if they bring over Syndicate, and if they could truly pull it off, the idea of Origins or Odyssey would be nice. I know we have Odyssey available through that streaming thing, but that's only in Japan and so forth. So, so overall, not bad. The idea of bringing Assassin's Creed 3 as a play at home on the go on the Nintendo Switch isn't bad or anything like that. It is definitely the better version than the ones released on the PS3, 360, and Wii U, but it's far from being perfect, and there are the later ones like Black Flag and Odyssey and Origins, in my opinion, are, in my view, the better Assassin's Creed games out there, with Black Flags being hailed as my personal favorite, to be exact. So, good game, just not perfect. That's all. Okay, this concludes my video review of the Switch version of Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, especially on the Nintendo Switch? Do you still think Assassin's Creed 3 is a bad game, or do you don't think it's as bad as anybody made it out to be? Have you decided to pick this game up? Are you thinking about getting the Switch version, or do you prefer the PS4 or the Xbox One or PC, or neither? Do you think they should bring more Assassin's Creed games over to the Nintendo Switch, and if so, which Assassin's Creed game do you think they should bring over to the Nintendo Switch? Did you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Did you like like I said? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this YouTube video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!